Well, hello everybody. This is Daniel with Peace and Plenty Homestead, and I'm here this evening. I'm going to show you what I've been working on. We're going to be talking about colony, putting together colonies where you can have rabbits, chickens, pigs, and sheep all in one fenced-in area. It's a little bit tricky, but I've been working on it and coming up with different ideas, and I'd appreciate any thoughts or comments you have down in the comments section to help me out. You can see behind me that there's a lot of dark clouds and a little bit of rain getting ready to come this way. So I'm just going to do a quick video. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started around. So this right here is the back side of the chicken coop, and I've got this lid, this plastic lid right here. It's clear so the sunlight can get in there, and I just prop it up with the 2x4 right here. And this is where the chickens come out of the chicken coop. We have a door that drops down, a piece of plywood that drops down. This is what I call a diving board right here. We're going to get into that more in just a minute. But the chickens can come down this ramp right here, and their food is in this area right here. So we have their food right here. We've got this nice tree right here shading this area so that you can work out here when it's really hot. I've got the galvanized trash cans right here. There's nothing in them right now, but this is where we keep the feed for whatever we're doing, whether it's rabbits, chickens, pigs, sheep, whatever. We've got 3 places right there. Let me show you this feeding station, which I just built right here. I built this yesterday or day before. I've got the electric fence right here. It's off right now. I've got this 2x4 here so I can stick my hand down in here and pour the feed into this trough right here for pigs or sheep, whichever one I have in here at the time, and they're using this area. This 2x4 keeps the sheep from climbing up the wall here. There's little places in the 2x where they can climb, but they'll hit this. That's where you can just put your hand over here and pour the feed in there. If they get too rambunctious, they'll run into the electric fence. The 2x4 keeps me from getting my hand into the electric fence right there also. So this is pressure treated 4x4s with pressure treated 2x8s. And I've got a support running down the side here. I can pick this up with the forklift and move it around because we're always changing our mind on the things that we're doing. I've got the barbed wire right here. It's good and tight. Pulled it really tight. They'll want to get up here and push down on it. So I did tighten that up. I just have chicken wire for the chickens and the rabbits. Now, back inside this feeding area here, I want you to see this white tube. I have the white 8-inch PVC tube right there, and I have a wooden block that I use to block it when I want to keep the rabbits in here. Now, it's not in here right now, but there's a cage that goes around this small area right here for the rabbits. So the rabbits can come in, and then their feeder is right here, and the chickens cannot get to it, and the rabbits cannot get to the chicken feed, which is right over here. But that it's a dog cage. It's not in there right now. I've got barbed wire going around this opening right here to keep the pigs and the sheep from weaseling in to get to the feed right here. And because this pipe is long enough, they don't stick their heads through either. But it's got to be really secure with concrete blocks. I've got the blocks right here, and I stack the blocks up, and I wrap barbed wire around it to keep the pigs from knocking over the blocks. And the electric fence is right here. I can bring that down and wrap it around the pipe also. But this is where the rabbits come in. It's too small for the chickens to come in this way, so that gives them an exclusive area inside this dog pen to feed them. And you can block it off right there and put birthing boxes in there, and they will give birth in there. Then you can pull the block out, and they can go out there and find grass and whatnot. So, like I said, this is the diving board right here. I probably can tell you a little bit about that from here. You can see how it's high. I think I've got about 24 to 30 inches high off the ground. And that's where the chickens jump up here to come in down here and to go into the coop. And that's to keep the rabbits from getting into the coop, because they jump up there, and the rabbits don't know anything about that access because they're down in this area. The way that I train the chickens to do that is I have a ramp up there for a few days, and they'll learn to walk up the ramp and go in. When I remove the ramp, then they'll start jumping up there. But the rabbits cannot see that ramp. If they see that ramp, they will know that this is the access. So I keep the plug in the pipe while I'm training the chickens to come up the ramp. But I've got enough chickens trained that if we add new chickens, they show the new chickens how to do it. And like I said, there's a piece of plywood that drops down right here to close off the door at night. I'll show you that in just a second. I have the propane for really cold nights. Sometimes it gets down to 0 in our area, so I have a small propane heater that we put in there. This is my Aquaponics Storage. This up here is where we keep the have-a-heart trap so we can catch the raccoons and the possums and whatnot. And I put those in a 5-gallon bucket and hang them in the chicken coop with holes in the bottom of the 5-gallon bucket. And as the maggots consume the possums and the raccoons and things, the chickens eat the maggots. So that's nice. But here we are. I'm just going to show you a little bit more real quick. This is my electric fence. I use 12 volt because I have a 12 volt solar system, and these are 12 volt outlets right here, and these are the breakers that I use to control the different areas around the farm for different things, the lights and whatnot, all on 12 volts. In here, it's getting a little bit dark, so I'm going to show you real quick. I've got this situation here with these. This is my broody section. So what we do is we have these wire cages that lift up, and we can prop them up. It's got a little pinhole. There's a little pinhole right here, and I can clip it. And we'll put the feed and water in there, and then we can close this down. And when she hatches, the chicks, they can grow up in there a little bit and keep from getting trampled on. And you can see right here, I've got a broody copper Moran in there. I think I hear a chick. I think I heard a little chick. Maybe it's hatched already in there. Don't know if you heard that. But there's a chick in there, isn't there? That's okay. We'll come back later and check on her. Leave her alone for right now. She's probably hatched a couple already. But she's got her food and water there, and the chicks will stay safe with this wire down, and it's got a catch to hold the wire down. Here's a little catch to hold the wire down, and we just close them once they're in there, like that. This is the little area right here where I drop rat poisoning down in here to kill the rats. I don't like cats. They're a nuisance to me. They're a real bother. And so I use the rat poison. That's the way I go with that. This little area over here is where I put the water. I set it right there. Extra rat poisoning. I've got timers for lights if we need them in the wintertime. They have roosting places up top there. The door has a heavy-duty screen. The window has a heavy-duty screen on it so that I can leave it open at night to get some air in there. And then we have a screen door right here for during the day when we're home, and then the glass door for at night. And we've got another feeding station right here. Now, with these little red bricks, we keep trash cans here. This was my first attempt, kind of, I inherited the pigs, and I had to quickly rig something up. So I screwed this down to the ground. You can see the dog ties that you screw those in the ground, and then you can tie a dog onto those. I use those to hold the blue buckets down because the pigs would just terrorize the buckets. And then I would drop the feed in on this white pipe right here because you don't want to get in there with them. They're pushing you around, and I would just manage their feed right there. Like I said, all this new electric fence that you see, I just put that in a day or two ago. So this is my little people gate right here. I've got a large green gate right there for the tractor when I'm bringing it in, and I've got it where I can just unhook these lines and drop them down and bring the tractor in to do any cleanup that I need to do. I had some of those 300-gallon water totes, so I cut those and made this little hay holder feeder right here. This lid, the roof actually will lift up. I can come in here with the tractor and pick up the lid and then drop a round bale in here and put the lid back on for the feed right there. Over here, I want to show you from the inside right here how this is the chicken diving board. It's up high and it's stuck out like a diving board that the chickens can hop up on. And then I've got the barbed wire wrapped around it to keep the pigs and the sheep and everything from pushing it over. And then down here is the rabbit entrance, and that goes into a dog cage, a gigantic dog cage that's inside this area. And I can feed the rabbits separate from the chickens and keep the rabbits from getting into the chicken feed. And then I've got these blocks right here that I can put around this pipe and put the electric fence right there and keep the pigs and the sheep from terrorizing that area right there. This is the feeder again. So they just can step right up here, and there's a trough right there, and I can drop the feed right over the side right here. And there's a nice shaded tree right there that we looked at earlier. And then we've got the barbed wire, the electric wire and barbed wire going all the way around. This is the back gate entrance right here. And you can see I've got this board right at this level. That's so that the sheep can get in here, but the cows can't. So the pigs and the sheep can come in, but the cows cannot. The calves can come in here. I don't mind the calves in here, but the cows would just do too much destruction. So we've got that. And then this right here is a 8x8x16 concrete block to keep the pigs from knocking the post over. And we'll put a 2x4 in here and run it up, and we can put a net on to cover the entire area to keep the hawks out if we need to. Over here, we've got what I call the Fema Camps. They're small 8x16 little areas that we can put the rabbits in, or anything. We can exclusively put the chickens or the rabbits or whatever. But you can see I've got the pipe again right here with the barbed wire wrapping around it so the pigs don't dig it up. There's barbed wire wrapped around that concrete block also, and a bunch of concrete blocks on the inside holding that pipe down so the pigs don't get to it. That way I can close rabbits in right here. This was a 2-story shelter right here. It's just been knocked over. I'll set it back up when I need it. And right here I've got this is where I put the water, and it's got this metal tray, and underneath of that are lights that I can plug in right here. Here's the plug-ins, and there's a light down there, and it's a surface mount porcelain light fixture that you can buy at Lowe's. Just a small round with just a bulb sticking up, porcelain for the heat fixture down inside the block. And with the metal, I can turn that light on, and that will keep the water from freezing. That's the best way to go on the water. Those water warmers that you buy, they just break. So this right here is the hay feeder for the rabbits. So this lid opens up right here, and there's a wire box cage right there, and I can just drop the hay right down in there and put the lid back on. I can stir it up with this if I need just to mix it up a little bit. There's another Fema camp right there. It's got a 4-foot gate and a little shelter and all of that. I'm not using those right now, so you can see the pipe right there. It's got a plug in it where the rabbits can go in and out. But we're not using that right now. There's 5 Fema camps across here. Here's the second one. The third one right here, I've got the electric fence going up and around it so that the sheep, we're getting ready to put sheep in here, so that the sheep can get into this shaded area, and I've got a little roof for them, and they can just hide right in there. And I've got a feeding hay box for them also right here. I'm going to divert for a second and show you this box right here. This is my black soldier fly box right here. Not doing this year, but I definitely would like to have it hooked up next year. The trick to these black soldier fly boxes is this ramp right here. There's two tricks. The first one is to have this ramp at about 33 degrees of an angle right here. And then the larvae, when they're crawling up this, they get bunched up and they drop into a bucket right here. And then we just lift this up and we pull the bucket out and we feed those to the chickens. And there's a ramp on each side. Down here in the bottom, there's holes for the moisture to drain out. And we put coquina shells down here, about 2 inches of coquina shells. The larvae do not like to crawl through the coquina shells to escape out the bottom. So they will avoid going out the bottom and choose to go up the ramp right here. Now, on top of the coquina shells, we fill this up with rabbit manure. And that's what they're consuming, is rabbit manure and growing on that, black soldier flies. This little cardboard right here, this is where they lay the eggs, inside this little cardboard area, right? These little openings. So they are attracted back to their area because they smell the larvae, and so they'll relay eggs continually in the same area. There's a little drain for the moisture of the water, because you have to water the manure, keep it watered, and any excess water drains out through the coquina shells, through the holes in the bottom, and right out here into another bucket down here. That's my black soldier fly. We do that because we have the rabbit manure, and because we have the chickens. So back to walking around here, we have another Fema camp area, the electric fence right here. And I want to tell you, we're getting ready to put sheep in here, but if we decide to go with pigs, we will add in another plastic electric fence that comes out like this, and the fabric wire will go through here out into this area, because the pigs will get down and pluck this up and knock the whole fence over. And I've got it tied right here to keep them from plucking it up. They will get their nose underneath that wire. If you had the wire right like this, even if it was down low right here, they would just take their nose and pluck the whole post right up. So you have to extend it out to here and put it out here. And I even wrap the extension with the electric fence also to keep them from touching that. So that's how I deal with the pigs. It's tied down, and it has an extension, and it's wrapped, and it's down low out here. Well, that is a really quick, fast run around. This is my chicken area. We're not using it right now. It's the fifth Fema camp in the run here, but that is the last Fema camp for this area. Appreciate everybody watching. On my homestead channel, I'm going to be doing strictly the homestead, and I've got a new Daniel's Bullion Coins that you can go and hear about what I do to invest and live on a farm that's completely paid for. Thank you so much for watching.